Hello family, friends, and YouTube. Today we're going to do the fuel door emergency release hack. Now, for those of you not familiar, Honda Gold Wings have a button up here, and when you have your key fob near, as I do, you can use the button to open up this cubby. When this cubby is open, there's another little button in that you push down to release the cap. Here is the thing. When Honda developed this motorized system, they made this button electronic. The inside button that releases the cap is cable, but this button is electronic. The concept behind that was, if your key fob is not near, your trunks, everything is locked, including access to this cubby, which means, by virtue, access to the fuel cap. So, what we're going to do is, because it has been reported that this motor on that button here has failed people while out on the road. Now, some people like Smitty, Big Smitty, mentioned about a year ago in one of his videos that somebody asked him, why would you put a hole in, like a $30,000 bike? You're about to drill a hole right here is what we're going to do. And we're going to do that to a $30,000 machine. No, people, let's put this in perspective. We're going to do it to a $42 door. A $42 door. Okay, so keep things in perspective when we talk about drilling or making modifications and stuff. If we mess up, we replace the door. Now, some say, okay, well, out on the road, you don't want to be out on the road 500 miles away from home and have this motor go out and this electronic button, and you can't get this open, so therefore you cannot release your fuel cap. Well, my argument would be, it wouldn't matter if you're 500 miles from home or 1 mile from home. The moment this door does not open, you can't access the fuel cap. Now, some people make modifications here and undo the locking mechanism so that they could just Velcro it open and shut. I don't like that. I think that looks a little tacky. So if this button goes out, if you're 500 miles, as I said, if you're 500 miles or a mile, it doesn't matter. You can't get in here. So therefore, you're going to have to pry open and rip open this door somehow, because you're not going to want to do this, not to this aluminum, metal, or whatever that is, and do all that damage. So you're going to do it to the door. Well, prying this open can cause all kind of damage. You could get all kind of scratches all over your bike and everything. So what we're going to do is, this $42 door is going to get a little hole put in it right where the button is, so that when we're on the road and we need to do, if we have a problem and this goes out on us, we don't have to tear the door off. We just simply, we're gonna remove a little cap, poke a pencil or something through there, and hit the button, releases the fuel cap. Now, this is not my idea. Max McAllister 3 years ago came out with this. I will have his video along with Big Smitty's video linked in the description. But I simply do not want to put a 1/2 inch. I think when Max McAllister did it, he put a 1/2 inch hole, and that's a pretty good size hole. I don't think it's necessary to be that big. I would like a lower profile look. So let's go over and look at the tools that I've come up with to do this task. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with a plain index card, and we're going to make a template, because the important part is to go exactly where the button is before we drill that hole, we need to know exactly the location above. So, having done some prior measurements, I know that it's 1 1/4 from the side of your index card, and it is 1 3/4 down from the index card. So this is what it would look like. You take an index card, you put 1 1/4 mark on up top and draw you a line. After you draw that line, you go and make from down here, you're going to go 1 3/4 from the top and draw a line straight across. This square is the square that we're focusing on, because that dot, that intersection right there, is the point of interest. That is what we're going to do. That's where we're going to put our pilot hole, and then that's where we're going to drill our hole. So now we're going to determine what size cap. Well, in my case, I want a 5/16 bit, and the easiest way to do it is take the bit and insert it into the cap hole. If that fits perfectly into the hole, that means the outer lip of this cap will in fact attach. So the hole will be here, and then you'll see the outer lip on the cap. So this is the cap we're going to use, a 5/16 cap. Nothing very dramatic. So let's go back to the bike. Okay, what I did here was I trimmed off the excess so that we know that this is going down and that point right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay that up here to the very corner and the outside edge of the door itself. Corner and outside edge of the door only. And once we line that up, we got our mark. Now, I'm going to start with placing some masking tape. They say it helps during the cutting process, but I believe it also is going to help during the marking process. So we know it's guesstimated right about in here somewhere. I'm just throwing some tape up there. And then we're going to take, I got a little punch here, and I'm going to line this up exactly where the top of the corner, this is the big focus point, the top of the lid, and then come straight down, and as you can see right there is where the hole should be. So now I'm going to score it a little bit. Now the plastic is very soft. All I want enough is to where I can see that pinhole. Now I'm going to open the door because I want to put my hand behind here and I want to score that hole a little bit bigger. And again, because it's so soft, be careful with the door. I'm just getting a little pilot hole started, and as you can see, there's not much clearance between that and the button, so you don't want to drill straight down on the lid. As you can see right here, you don't want to drill straight down because you only have that much clearance before you hit the button. So right there is where we want to put our 5 3/8 hole. So I'm going to open it, and we're going to do it from here. And I'm going to go very slow because this is very soft, very soft. All right. There is the hole. Now we don't want We don't want to waddle it out or nothing because we want it to be exactly that size. Now if I tear the tape off, you will see that we have what looks like a perfectly clean hole. There is no rough edges. Drop the drill. There's no rough edges. And it goes perfectly smooth through there. Now, let's test it. I don't want to use the point, so let's come back with some few options to test that hole. All right, now that we have our hole, and see, some people would say maybe use a step bit. The reason I don't want to use a step bit is because I want the hole to have its natural edge. Smooth but natural edge. Without that, if you use a step bit, you'll angle it off and then the cap may not fit in correctly. But let's just give you some examples. Here's a standard pencil. All right, so if it fits through the hole, we go right there, pops the lid. Here's a snubby screwdriver. And you'll notice it's just barely, as soon as you get in the hole, boom, popped it. All right. Here is a little wooden barbecue skew, just really thin. Look how thin that is. So it goes to show you, I'm gonna hold it way up here. It's gonna show you that it doesn't take much pressure to pop that cap. The button basically goes just like that. So as you can see, we've hit directly on the button. Now remember, the button, when you hit it, it goes up in an upward motion. Not just straight down, upward motion. So when you put your object in there, it is the upward motion that you're going to seek. All right, now the next step is to simply place a cap. So you want your cap, you're going to want to put a little pressure right here, open up there so you can put some pressure on the door. Find your cap, locate it, boom, you're done. There it is, nice and done, no scuffs, no scratches, nothing, and there's your little cap, low profile. And if you're in the event of emergency, simply pop that off and you can get fuel. Well, until next time, just live your life.